So yeah, like the last few weeks, I found myself with a giant case of the shoulds. You see, as a person who has a journaling channel on YouTube, I like to check out and see what some of the other journaling channels are doing. And it's very easy this time of year to kind of get caught up in all the planning porn, let's call it that. It is where it's like the end of the year. We have to hunker down, we have to get a piece of paper, and we have to just plan out the entire next year in just a few hours. And next year's gonna be perfect. Next year is gonna be your year. Yeah! You know what I say to that? No. No. And tell me if you are the same. Maybe I'm not the only one, but I have a core set of interests and values and things that I like. Things like journaling and travel, those are always going to be there. I may change my mind and try other hobbies, other interests, but I do have things that have always been there and are always going to be there. But planning more of the big life plans, that is where I always start to feel a little fuzzy. I can never seem to see the road, the paved road in front of me. I don't know how to make that become more sharp and more clear. I'm not going to just twist myself into a pretzel to keep up with the Joneses of the journaling world. That's not me. My name is Alicia, and I am a 46-year-old woman child, and I am still figuring it all out. If I don't have my shit figured out, then how can I possibly expect you, the viewer, to just have everything figured out and be able to outline all of that in like a Google Doc or whatever the kids are doing? So from now on, I will probably not be doing any big year-end planning videos. I want to focus on what's in here, what's inside my head, and then, just help you do the same. And once we figure those things out, then it'll be much, much easier to be able to plan and figure out what it is that we want to do for the next 12 months. How does that sound? So let's finish out the year by asking ourselves what we did well, what made us feel good, what made us feel really positive and proud and uplifted, and find out how we can have more of that for next year. And then if you want to go to those other channels and listen to lo-fi and get out your Google Docs and just plan everything all out, I won't hate you, I promise. What are we doing with this light? How do we feel about that? On? Okay. I don't know. So here are 5 journaling prompts. Hopefully these will help you start to think about what made you feel really good in 2024 and how can we carry that over into 2025. So I want you to get your pen and paper, get ready. I've got my journal here, and yes, I want you to take 2 minutes per question. I actually did the journaling prompts this morning. It didn't take me more than 2 minutes per question, so I'm going to stick with that. But if it takes you longer, that's okay too. I want you to pause the video in between the prompts that I'm giving you so that you can go ahead and give yourself space and time to write and think about think about your answers. Our first prompt is, what daily habit or mindset shift made the biggest difference for you in 2024? Think about that and think about how you plan to maintain this habit or this new mindset going into next year. Also with these questions, if you had a little bit of trouble remembering the first half of this year, that's okay. You don't have to think about the entire year of 2024. You can just answer the questions maybe for the last half of 2024, or maybe just the last quarter, maybe just the past few weeks, whatever feels best for you. I don't want you to have to tax your brain too much as I did. And question number 2. Who was your biggest supporter, your biggest cheerleader this year? And how can you appreciate them? How can you show them love going into next year? Oh, bonus question. How can you find more people like that in the coming year? We want to surround ourselves with those cheerleaders, those positive people who are going to support you. So, how can you do that? Let's make a plan for that. Question number 3. What is one thing that you did that was out of character for you, not something that you normally do, but that made you feel fabulous? And how can you repeat that going into, or maybe not that exact thing, but how can you keep that energy going for next year? And question number 4, what challenges did you face, or let's say what's one challenge that you faced in 2024? And what are the lessons that you may have learned from that challenge that you can carry forward with you into next year? Let's keep in mind though that not everything is a lesson. Sometimes things just happen and it just is what it is. But sometimes, well, I would say most of the time, there is a lesson to be learned. So, what is that for you? And number 5, what is a piece of feedback or maybe a compliment that you received in the year of 2024 that you're still thinking about and that really struck you? And why did you receive that compliment? And what is something that you can do to receive more compliments and more good energy and more positivity going into next year? And our last question is a bonus question. It's something I ask every video, or I try to. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want for next year? What do you want for your life? What do you want to eat for lunch? What do you want? Go ahead. Actually, I would like you to spend maybe 5 minutes answering that question. I think that's such a broad question that you can easily spend all day answering that one. So let's try for 5. But you don't want to hear all that. Okay, so usually this is the part of the video in which we transition to the second half of the video, and I set up my weekly spread in my bullet journal, my other journal. But you know what's going to happen? Since this is an anti-planning video, I'm not doing that. If you want to plan with me this week in the bullet journals, you're going to have to hop over to my next video. And in fact, going forward from now on, I am not going to smush these 2 things into one video. Going forward, I'm going to have 2 videos. I'm going to have one video that is devoted to the feelings and stuff, such as the one I just did. And then the next video is going to be, or I won't say next, then the other video is going to be strictly setting up our bullet journals and planning and scheming for the coming week. So this may be the last week that I have the feeling video on a Sunday. So I may switch the journaling prompts and the emotional stuff to Wednesdays, and we'll do like a wind down Wednesday type of situation. I'm not sure on that just yet, so bear with me on the days, but that is what we will do going forward. 2 videos a week. All right, but I'll be wearing the same clothes. I'm just filming them back to back. It's just separate. You got me? Okay. Because even though I can't plan long term for shit, I still like to have my week set up and have it go the way that I want it to go. You know what I mean? So, yes, because I feel that the weeks turn into months, the months turn into years, and that's what it's all about. In my next video, I will set up my weekly spread in my bullet journal. I'm going to talk about my intention of the week. If you like this video, I hope you'll subscribe. Leave me a like down below. And if you're interested in maybe checking out some of the events that I'm planning, I have some virtual journaling workshops, parties, as I'm calling them, to sound less intimidating, coming up. You can check those out in the description box and RSVP. Come on over, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Have a good week.